thrill seekers. So I just showed you a little snippet of a video I made this morning for a cover I did of the song Windmills of Your Mind. And Windmills of Your Mind is a song that was kind of just all over the place when I was growing up, and it was always one of these staples of that kind of lounge singer type guy that Bill Murray used to parody, if anybody remembers Bill Murray parodying those kind of lounge singer guys. And I always thought it was like the trippiest song in the world. So I heard it again recently and I thought, I'm going to make a trippy version of Windmills of Your Mind. So I did it, and I'll put the whole video at the end of this video and you can see it. But I was really happy with the way it turned out. So that's why I'm kind of promoting it. So today, what I really wanted to do with my day is work on my podcast that I've been putting out, and I'm hoping to get another episode up this week. Fingers crossed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one out this week, but I'm going to try. So I want to work on that, and I want to work towards getting my new book together, and also got some housework and stuff I want to get done. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a rant, and not very highly planned out. I do plan out a lot of my videos, but this is not one of the planned out videos. So what I wanted to rant about, and I'm just winding myself up, and I'm going to see where it goes, is I've been watching some videos recently from the World Economic Forum. And look, I'm not a real close observer of the World Economic Forum, so I'm not presenting myself as an expert on what they are doing. I just happened to kind of come across some videos of one of their talks. And it happened to be some people talking about new medical advances that they want to kind of, present to the world that are going to improve humanity. And whenever I see talk like this, and I've been seeing a lot of it lately, it kind of worries me a bit. And I hope I don't come off like too much of a Luddite here, but this kind of stuff, I think there is a Buddhist angle to talk about this kind of stuff. Especially because whenever this comes up, and this didn't come up specifically in the World Economic Forum talk that I saw, but it always kind of goes this direction among certain people, is that these technologies that they're presenting are going to be used to create a world where everybody is spiritually enlightened. They're going to use technology to make us all spiritually enlightened. I see this from time to time, and people often send me emails and stuff about this or that new thing that's gonna make us all spiritually enlightened through technology. You know, some machine or some drug or some kind of thing, something somebody's going to invent that's going to make us all spiritually enlightened. And I always say this is a bunch of nonsense. About 10 or 15 years ago, I don't remember, I was at some kind of a talk. I actually went out to Atlanta, Georgia on the invitation of some neuroscientist who wanted me to do some tests to see what my brain was like as a brain of a meditator. And as part of the deal, I was to give a talk to some of his students, and the question kind of came up about drugs and other technologies that were going to come up that were going to produce spiritual enlightenment. And I said, it's never going to happen. I said, there's no drug that can do that. There's no technology that can do that. And I got a lot of pushback from the students who were like, well, how do you know? How do you know it's never going to happen? And I said, look, it's never going to happen. It's just not. The question doesn't fit the case is kind of what I was going for. This is an answer that the Buddha often gave. It's like you're looking in the wrong place. You're asking the wrong questions. You're going for something that you can't go for. The problem is that technology and drugs, which are the creation of technology, which is the creation of people, putting things together, they're the product of thought. And thought is a very seductive little thing. Thought gets you thinking. thought is up there in your head, making you think that it's going to solve all the problems of the world, because thought is good at solving a lot of problems. I'll give you an example from my real life right now today. That song I recorded, I did that cover of Windmills of Your Mind. Now, back in the 80s, back when I was doing Dementia 13, my psychedelic band that I was put out records on Midnight Records, I used to do the demos for those, little home demos for them. And I would record them on a 4-track, Fostex 4-track cassette recorder. I would do all my demos on this little Fostex 4-track cassette recorder. Some of you are musicians out there may remember these things. And, you know, it was at the time the highest tech thing a home musician could get for cheap. And it was a really great innovation, but you could only record 4 tracks. You could get 4 separate tracks, and they didn't sound all that great. And if you messed around with it enough, you could multiply those 4 tracks, and you could get, you know, more tracks out of it by bouncing tracks. It's all very technical and stuff. And one of the guys, or one of the bands who were really good, I didn't plan this out, just happened to be sitting there. The group Guided by Voices, who were also from Ohio. They were from down in Dayton, Ohio. I was from up in Akron, other catty corner end of the state. But they were really good at working with these old Fostex 4-track cassette recorders and making them do things that they weren't actually intended to do. And they actually made records on the Fostex 4-track recorders. I only made one Dementia 13 record on the Fostex 4-track recorder. I wasn't gutsy enough. I usually went into a real studio and worked with real multi-track recorders, but they actually did it on a Fostex 4-track and made something great out of them. But the thing is, they were difficult to work with, and they produced kind of middling results, even with all the work that Guided by Voices did on them. So fast forward to the year 2023, which we're in now, and I'm working on the same laptop that I'm using to record this, and it's really easy. I did I don't know how many tracks I used to record Windmills of Your Mind. But it doesn't matter. It's almost unlimited. I have run out of tracks occasionally on GarageBand. But you have to do a lot of tracks before you run out on GarageBand. Certainly not 4. And the fidelity is much better, and you don't have to keep going out and buying cassettes, and and they don't get all tangled up in the machine like they used to on the old 4-tracks sometimes, and they ate your tapes, and all kinds of other problems have happened. So the point I'm trying to make is that somebody thought up, how to improve the technology, and they worked on it, and the product of thought made for something better. And there's all sorts of improvements like that you can look at in the world, all over the place, including medical improvements, including improvements. I've talked about this with my headaches. I'm a frequent migraine sufferer, and back in the old days, all I could do was gobble ibuprofens at a dangerous rate, and now they've got some other stuff, triptans and these other kind of drugs you can take that whip your migraines really fast. So yeah, thought can do a lot of things, but there are things that are beyond thought. And that is what Buddhism is working with. We're working with stuff that's beyond thought, that's outside of the realm of thought. So when we're talking about enlightenment and awakening and all this other stuff that we talk about in Buddhism, we're talking about something that is outside of the realm of thought, that thought can't touch it, thought can't reach it. But a lot of people get very excited about these technologies and things and think, okay, yeah, we're going to apply this to spiritual awakening, and we're going to figure out how spiritual awakening can be, we're going to figure out the brain patterns of spiritually awakened people, and we're going to figure out how to induce it through technology and all this other crap that they're going to do. And it just ain't going to happen. It just is not going to happen. The best you're going to be able to do, if you can even do this, is produce a kind of weird imitation of it. And what's worst, what's far more likely is going to happen is you're going to produce a kind of amusement that's going to imitate badly spiritual awakening, but what it'll really be is a kind of amusement thing that'll make people momentarily blissful, but it will produce a kind of addiction. And we've seen how this goes. Everything becomes a kind of commercial product. We've seen how this has gone the last 3 years, where something was promoted to us as a miracle wonder drug that was going to fix our problems, and it turned out it was all driven by commercial means and by political desires. And when the desire for money and power gets into it, it becomes very messy. And everything goes sideways very quickly. So I don't know. When I was thinking about what I was going to say about this, I'm thinking, right now, as far as I know, there's nothing specific I'm going to warn you about that's actually out there. As far as I've seen, there's nothing out there. There was the big mind process that Genpo Roshi was doing that was dubious, but it was nothing, it was nothing like what I'm thinking of. But, in the unlikely event that my words kind of carry over to future generations, I would just tell you, future people, just be on the lookout and watch out, because, it bothers me that so many people who are supposedly spiritual, awakened people, spiritual leaders and whatnot, and, the gurus and roshis and stuff out there, seem to be unable to recognize when stuff is being promoted for financial and political gain. And they seem to be very easily bamboozled by just commercial and political enterprises that pretend to be done for the good of mankind, and they just go, hey, this is for the good of mankind, yeah, it's spiritual, and they just promote it like it's part of the practice or something, and there's already a whole lot of that going on. So I expect more of that to be going on in the future, and that there will be a lot of people promoting themselves as spiritual masters out there, being bamboozled by whatever comes along, by whatever technology or whatever dope comes along that pretends to be for the good of mankind and promoting awakening and whatever, that'll be trying to sell students on some new technique and technology that's gonna fix everything. I don't know if it'll be brain implants or some new drug. Lately I've been one of the things one of the things I'm into is old science fiction, and I've been reading old science fiction comic books from the 50s, and I was reading one just yesterday that was set in the far future year of 2026, which is now only 3 years in the future. And it was funny to see the way they portrayed the year 2026, because of course I don't think 2026 is going to look anything like how they portrayed it, because there's atomic cars running and there's rocket ship ports in every city and all this other stuff. So I don't want to predict what the future technology is going to look like. It'll probably look like something I'm not envisioning right now, but it'll be the creation of somebody's idea of what awakening looks like to them, to their mind, and then it'll be promoted and it'll be like an amusement ride that people will think, oh my God, this is awakening. Look, we can have it for cheap, and we can just pay some money, and it'll be great, and it'll be delivered right to our heads, and it'll be fun, and it'll be fast. And the thing that people are going to promote to you that's going to be fun and fast and quick, and all those people back in the past who worked on a meditation practice for decades and decades, they were wrong. We've got the thing that's going to do it for you in an hour or a minute or whatever, and you're just going to take a pill or plug in or whatever the hell it turns out to be. It's all a bunch of bullshit. So be careful of that. That's my little rant for today. So I think I'll leave you with that there. If you want to donate to me ranting some more, and you're still with me among the people who are alive when I'm alive and not watching this in the far future, you can go to the URL you're seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. There you can find my PayPal and Patreon links, and those are my main and usually only ways of making a living. So I appreciate your support. But as always, this is offered for free, so you don't gotta donate if you don't want to donate. So that's it. Have a good time all the time. I'm going to show you a little cameo of Ziggy, and then we'll watch the video of Windmills of Your Mind, which I was really proud of. Simple idea for doing a video that came out pretty well and pretty trippy. Don't watch it alone, and don't watch it with an implant in your head. So we'll see you next time. I think I said that already, didn't I? Have a good time all the time. Anyway, I'll say it twice. Bye.
Hey Ziggy, how you doing with your sunbeam, huh? You look cute in your sunbeam, don't you? How you doing? You enjoying that? Alright, I'm gonna go edit the video. You keep sleeping in your sunbeam, alright? We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Like a circle, a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning, on an ever spinning reel, like a snowball down a mountain or a carnival over, were you suddenly aware that the autumn